Well, you've done how many albums have you done in your career, approximately?
DC Talk and I made 5, and then I've made 3 solo records, along with some remixes here and there, and greatest hits. Those aren't real records,
Now, out of all the songs that you've done, you've written, obviously there's some that really have an impact. When God brought that to you, that message, when you felt He told you to speak and communicate with the people, out of all the songs you've written, which is the one that you would say is probably your most favorite and means the most to you?
Well, obviously, I remember taking a trip down to Florida by myself. I wasn't married yet, didn't have kids, and no, I had just gotten married, but my wife was like, you got to get out of here, go write some songs. And I took this little beat with me, simple little beat with a bass line. I had all these songs I was working on, and at the end of it I had this little beat with a bass line on it that we were just working on, and I started writing the words to Jesus Freak, and that's something that, I'll never forget it, because it felt like, it felt like everything I wanted to say about when people, I don't know why I can't disguise this. I'm not trying to. This is just who I am. And if it's sort of freakish to you, well, so be it, brother. I don't mean to offend you, but I'm a Jesus freak. It's sort of like an unapologetic way of saying I'm a believer. I love Jesus, and it's that simple. And I think it really, for some reason, hit a nerve with people. And I think it's maybe the way people have always want to express it, to be unapologetic about who we are. We don't mean to be offensive, but our faith is the most important thing to us in the world. And the center of my life, when I'm at my best, is Jesus Christ. I gotta at least say, and then moving into like the Tobymac stuff, Made to Love is a song that means a lot to me, because it's truly what I was living at the time. I was struggling with my own insecurities and the things that I struggle with. My faith, I lost sight of my faith being the most important thing to me. The guy that wrote the lyrics to Jesus Freak, he stumbles and falls too, of course. But Made to Love is sort of an interesting song, because it's sort of about the moment you remember as a believer what your life is all about. It's sort of like that moment you remember, oh, well, hold up, baby. Hold up. I forgot I was made to love you, and I was made to accept your adoration from me. So it's one of those.
Toby, what's it like before you go on stage, while you're on stage, and afterwards? How do you feel?
What was the beginning of the question?
Before you go on stage, just a couple
before you
seconds
go on.
before.
Yeah, I got you. I still get a little bit nervous. There's an anticipation that, standing right over there before I walked in here, I was, my heart was beating a little bit. I was ready to do this. You never get over that, or I don't think you should. Because if you think you got a whoop, then I think you got a humility problem or a pride problem. So I think, there's an excitement, there's an anticipation for the moment. And for me and my band, I know, we live together on a bus a lot of the year. I do about 110 shows a year. So I'm about home half the time, and I'm on the bus half the time. So that family on my bus, which is also my family, we're praying together before we walk on stage. We're asking God to sort of hollow us. This is our prayer every night. Hollow us of the things that will get in the way of you breathing through us. Because we simply want you to be glorified tonight. And when we walk off that stage, if the name Tobymac or Diverse City is on their lips, then we haven't done our job, because we want the name Jesus to be on their lips.
Right, which brings me to Revelation Generation 2008. You've accepted this to come here. Why did you really say yes, you wanted to come to this festival?
Well, I actually got to sit down with a few people, including Bob, and heard about the heartbeat of this event. And I heard it was born out of a heart for youth culture, born out of a heart for kids that were needed an alternative to what seemed like the only way. So I mean, for me, anything that involves opening youth culture's mind to Jesus, I'm usually down. You know, as long as I can make the time for it, I'm in. And I also, you know, I grew up in DC, which, you know, is a little bit southern, but it's a little bit northeast. So I got a heart for the northeast, and this is definitely one of the areas that I love coming to. I just love the people here. I love the straightforward stuff. We don't get up here that much. I mean, there's a few festivals up this way, but when it comes to Philly and New York and New Jersey, it's one of our more difficult areas to tour in. I don't really know why, but I love coming here, and whenever I get an invitation, I try to get here.
Now, your newest album, your newest record, tell us a little bit about that and what you're communicating to the people, what God placed on your heart through that word.
Well, my latest studio project is Portable Sounds, which for me, making a record is about a year-long process. I just started on a record last week that I'll actually work on until probably August or September next year, and then it'll release hopefully by Christmas. That's my goal. So far, I have 3 songs I'm working on at the same time, and they're all very different. As I said, you know, when I'm mixing up my musical pot of gumbo, it's got some okra in it, it's got some sausage in it, it's got some chicken in it. I want the celery and the greens, baby. So it's like, it's you know, so far the first 3 songs are all very different from each other and very different from the Portable Sounds record. So Portable Sounds to me was a record that in it taking a year, it's sort of, it's like I look at a CD as a snapshot of all the things you're going through in that year, or maybe the things your friends are going through, or maybe the things our society's going through. So the songs are really personal. I'm not just sitting there trying to conjure up some song that will connect with people. I'm singing about my own struggles, about the times that God pulls me through to the other side, about the moments where I'm hopeful, and about the moments of doubt. All those things end up on my lyric sheets. Because I think if you write songs that are real to you, then you guys will relate to them. Because we're all really humans living on this earth. And for us, we're humans trying to pursue this faith in God in a world that's throwing all kinds of crazy stuff at us. So if I write the stuff that's real to me, it's going to connect with your lives. And I'm thankful that it does. I'm blessed to go to write songs. And then I just put out a new, I guess, a couple months ago, we put out a live CD. Oh, thanks. And that really got to showcase my band. And I gotta say, I got the funkiest band in the world, okay? So Gabriel over here. I'm always looking for ways to, it's interesting. The studio and the live experience, for me, have always been 2 different things. So creating a record in the studio, I have all these musicians that play on my records a lot that I write with. So it's not always my band. So when we come out here, I'm like, this band is so amazing. They're so about the vision that God's given me. If it weren't for them, I would never be able to pursue the vision that God's given me. So they not only are just kind of supporting me in it, but they come literally right alongside of me and have taken on the same vision. So at any time I can showcase my band, I want to showcase them. Anytime I can put the camera on them, I want to put it on them, because I got some characters. I mean, some serious characters. I'm talking like, and we're all, diverse city is really diverse city. On that bus, you know, I have people that were raised rich and people that were raised poor. African American people, Filipino people, Caucasian honky people like me. I mean, and I have people from the West Coast, the East Coast, and the Midwest. It's really is like a big part of literal diverse city.